Do you want to go over some of the kids that got drafted that we've seen over the?
Yeah, why don't you tell you know how to pronounce the names? I know the kids, but I don't know. I just don't know. And we saw a lot. We saw an awful lot of kids. Well, we saw a lot of them drafted, and we
so this year
you do it, Del.
We saw Quentin Byfield. We've talked about him.
Talked about him, yeah.
And
short stick.
He's got a short stick. He's he's young. Like
he'll be about 6'6".
He's almost 10 months younger than the rest of the kids. So that's a lot.
At that age.
He's 6'4", 215 pounds.
He'll be about 6'6".
But you know what though, Dad? You and I watched him. You're not knocking the kids, and that's the problem.
No, we don't want to knock anybody, but we're not going to be like those guys on TV. Everybody's a superstar.
He's really got to work. He's got to work on his first few strides because when we saw him and play for Sudbury, he's good. I mean, he's okay.
Remember the third period when they must have told him I was there?
Yeah,
remember that goal?
The one goal. He let a shot go. But,
boy, he can do it.
But so he's he went to LA, and I think he'll do well. But
he'll play.
He'll play, but his skating's got to get him up. And then on the sixth round or sixth overall was Jamie Drysdale.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Yeah, boy, and I got to be with Ottawa. I can't believe they didn't pick him. They took two defensemen before him. And,
boy, he's a beauty.
And in about 4 or 5 years, people are going to say, I can't believe Ottawa didn't take Jamie Drysdale.
Yeah,
and because he was the second youngest kid on Team Canada last year in the juniors. And remember, one of the defensemen got hurt, and he had to play.
Yeah, and he played.
And that's a 19-year-old. He was 17 at the time, and that's a 19-year-old tournament.
Yeah.
And he really played well.
Did he ever? I like him.
I don't know. And then the one thing, and then number 10, the guy that you and I liked was Cole Perfetti. We saw him play for Vaughan. The Jets picked him up.
This guy, and they've got a beauty in him. Whoever scouted him, he's good.
Well, the Jets, what Shovelday or the GM, what's his Shovelday off? The GM said, he goes, I can't believe. He says, we can't believe he was there.
Oh, I couldn't either.
And here's the thing that I always find funny. You and I are just talking about analytics, and everybody talks about, these guys are supposed to be the analytics. He scored everywhere he's gone. He scored. Like when we saw him, he had 125 points in X amount of games. So in his rookie year with Saginaw in the OHL, he had 37 goals. And last year, he had 111 points in 61 games. And only Lafreniere had 112. Now, he had played few less games. And Detroit, who I thought was going to take him because they kind of have a connection with Saginaw.
they're trying to pull a Hegman or somebody like that. I just don't understand Detroit.
So they took a Swede who has 24 points in 42 games, and they passed up a guy in the OHL that has 111 points. And so you like what?
Don't ask me.
And then even that Rossi that is who played for Brian's team, 67s, he had 120 points, and he went 10th. So you wonder where their people's heads you just.
Well, I'll tell you what they're trying to do, Tim. They're trying to pull a guy out of the hat. Oh boy, are they ever a good manager? They picked that guy. Instead of picking the obvious guy,
they think too much.
Remember, I have to go. Yeah, they think too much. I remember. We have to. I know we're going a little long here, but I have to tell one story. This is the unbelievable story. It cost me a Stanley Cup. I remember the reporters coming to me, Don, you have to pick this guy. You have to pick this guy. Where was he playing in New Hampshire?
I think it was University of Hampshire.
Yeah, you have to pick this guy. He's got a Boston accent. He's a big guy. He's a defenseman. So I went in and I said, Harry, I don't know who you're picking, number one, but I said, this guy's 6'2", a big guy and all.
And you kind of needed a defenseman, didn't you?
We needed a defenseman because we're going to lose Bobby. He's going to Chicago. And he, no, I'm not. What are you going to listen to the writers? And I said, well, geez, these guys know what's going on.
It really is amazing when you think about it.
Well, no, wait till I tell you the guy. Well, maybe the people that my era will remember. So we took it. I'm not knocking the goalie we took. We already had three goalies. We had Jilly Gilbert, who set a record. We had Jerry Cheever, St. Elmore, Stanley Cup winner. And then we had Ron Graham, the best goaltender in the WHA. So we had three goalies to start with. I mean, he did trade Graham later on. So we take a goaltender, a small goaltender, I think he played about 100 games in the National Hockey League. You know who we passed up? Rod Langway. And guess Montreal took right after us because and they took Rod Langway. What did he win? Stan, he won the Norris Trophy,
yeah.
and he played about 20 years in the National Hockey League. Him and Park on defense would have been unbelievable. Instead, he goes and he plays for the Montreal Canadiens.
So is that a reflection of the scouts in that
Yes.
area?
Yeah, we
That
had
they just weren't. They
stupid
just didn't
guys.
Know. Yeah, they. Just
So
didn't know.
I told we said this once before, but just think this could have happened for Boston. Let's say Bobby was okay, right? And
Yeah,
he played.
yeah,
So
that's
you
true.
would have had Brad Park, and you would have had Bobby, right? Yeah. Then let's say you did draft Rod Langway, so you would have had Brad Park, Bobby Orr, Rod Langway, and then Then Harry traded.
Yeah, oh, that's true.
He traded Rod
never
Graham
thought of
to
that.
L.A. and got Ray Bork. So you guys could have had Park or Bork and Langway.
Holy smokes.
And just if Bobby would have stayed and his knees would have been okay.
Probably would have stayed. I would have talked to Bobby on that one. And, and he wouldn't have had to play, he wouldn't have had to kill penalties. He wouldn't have had to do all that stuff. But anyhow,
So,
I guess that we talked long enough.
One more guy I just want to mention that we saw that I mentioned before, though I think is going to be the dark
Yeah, you
horse
tell them.
is he was picked 98th by the Sharks. There's a guy named Brandon Coe. And
Yeah, we used to talk about him.
Yeah, he's a big guy. He played for the Nats, and he was a point a game for them. And he's a pretty good skater. Like he's okay, and he's 6'4", 190
Too
pounds,
big.
190
Toronto.
pounds. And he played for North Bay, which wasn't a very good team last year, and he still ended up getting a point a game. And I think that he's going to be a guy that in like 4 or 5 years, people are going to say, well, he's one of those.
I don't know. Again, Tim, tell me how Toronto, and I'm for Toronto.
I think they do. I think they just.
What are they? Like they draft, all their draft was from Europe. Like I don't.
Well, it shows that they're progressive. They're very.
No, I think that they rely on analytics. I think that Dubas is one of those guys that.
But they don't score. I mean, they're over there. They don't get any goals, and they're playing in the ice capades over there. And then every guy he's got, except one, is from Ontario. Like I don't get it. I think it's Spezza, who's the big guy.
Well, Spezza
fighting. And then we get Simmons. I mean, I told you about Simmons someday. He's going to sit down. And he said, wait a minute. I'm 32 years old. I got a 1-year contract. I'm making $1 million, which is a lot of money, $1.5 million. And I'm supposed to protect these guys that are 23, 24, 25,
Well,
making $10 million.
That's not Spezza's job, is it?
Well, he did fight though. He was the only guy that fought in the
Jason
playoffs.
Spezza was fighting.
Yeah, he's a fighter. Oh. I don't. Never mind Toronto. I just said I don't understand drafting. And I love the kids here. 40,000 kids playing around Toronto. More juniors than anybody place in the world. And we draft, and I say we draft all Europeans. Well, I don't get it.
Well, it's the same with Ottawa. They take a German and an American over Jamie Drysdale.
Yeah.
And you look and you go, Jamie Drysdale, to me, he was maybe one of the best defensemen that we've seen playing.
What are their minds? Do they ever watch these guys?
I want to quickly mention our sponsor, Spreads.ca. It's a First Nations owned online casino and sportsbook, and it's tailored for Canadians. Sign up now and enter the promo GRAPES, and they'll match your deposit 100% up to $500. So if you put $50 in, they'll give you $50. You get 15 free spins on the wheel to win some big dough, and then when you sign up for the first time, they'll give you $25 for a free bet.
No, I had a couple of guys come up to me, and they want to bet. Okay, Tim, this putting you on the spot again. If I want to bet on $20 on a certain thing, say I want to bet on something, who do I phone or what do I do? So,
well, you go on spreads.ca.
Oh, spreads.ca.
Okay, and you have
how do you spell that? Like
Spreads, SPREADS .ca.
Okay, yeah.
And then what you do is you have to sign up. So you put your email address in and you put a password in. And then you have to...
You make up your password?
Make up your own password. Yeah. And then you have to put money into your...
How do you do that now?
Well, there's a way you put it through your credit card.
Credit card, yeah.
You put it up. And then you could go. They have online casino, so you can play, blackjack.
yeah.
You can play and then the nice thing with that too is that you can play 50-cent blackjack. So if you just want to go and spend some time and play blackjack, 50 cents, you don't have to spend $5. And then, or you can go on the sports book, and then they have a list of all the different sporting events, and then you go in. So like if you were going to bet on the World Series, you go on the World Series, and then they give you the odds, and then they also have prop bets and like who's going to score first. And even which is kind of cool now, they have things where like halfway through the game, like if you're watching an NFL game, some of the games you can still bet who's going to win even at halftime.
Oh, yeah.
If they're going to come back and all that.